What is it?
First.
Hello and welcome to Signal Season 2. Today, as you can see, we have a very special guest who likes to sit down first. I'm usually a huge fan of Kartikeya Singh because he's everything that I'm not. He has hair, his helmet has no color. But today, not so much of a fan.
Heavy, light. I'm a little envious too. But why? Why today, man? Just because I beat you?
You're supposed to say this at the end of the video. Now do you stop watching?
No. You don't know which bike I was on.
So what bike were you on?
I was on both bikes actually.
You can see why I'm feeling so exasperated with him today.
Okay, I started off with what suits my personality. Something heavy.
Hairy. No, not hairy at all.
I was on the Classic 350 and I had the advantage of more torque. 28 versus 26 for Zeh.
Except that his bike needs to rev out to make the torque, and my bike just makes the torque all the time because I was on the Ather 450X, which has 100 extra in the name and an X at the end. He tried to trick me. He put my scooter in economy mode and gave it to me thinking I wouldn't notice, but I did. I saw the lightning sign was missing, so I went into walk mode immediately and, well, still didn't make any difference.
And to be fair, I had reason to be worried because his scooter is 80 kilos lighter than the Classic and he's 15 kilos lighter than me. But you know, I was fighting for the internal combustion engine. This is a fight I wanted to fight. We might be looking at the past and the future in some ways here in this story, but it was a fight worth fighting.
I'm in the heat of the moment, pinnacle of my life, my mind, in control of it all. No doubt I will fall against the rise to the top. Even more tall, smashing another obstacle. I'ma shine my light right into challenges. Find my might, but really the challenge. Keep it real, keep the deal sealed with the balance. Too much of one thing, yes, I the manage. No panic, I know that I'm focused. I'm open to all that is flowing. It's made for me only. It's crazy, I'm holding amazing. I'm vulnerable, you can get walls at the same time. Your power is.
Yes, and I think he's getting confused because it's not the eternal combustion engine, it's only the internal combustion engine. It will eventually be defeated. We came this close because what happened in the drag race, it was raining, it was wet and all of that. And honestly, neither of these machines is so fast that we were worried about that. But when we launched, his Classic 350 bogged and it immediately slowed down. So I thought, that's it, I'm done. And then you know what happened?
From my viewpoint, we were at the start line and the next thing I know, the Ather was at least 3 bike lengths ahead of me. It just shot off the line and I was like, no!
Yeah, and I will add a technical point here. It was not the scooter, it was me. But the point is that once I got to 90 kmph with nobody in my peripheral vision, which was I think about 85 on the V-Box, it just maxed out and then it wouldn't do anything else. It was just like the battery said no and the motor said I agree, absolutely not. And then guess what? And he went past me and won. So then we had to obviously swap bikes. And then I showed him how launches are done.
To the top of the mountain, peaking on my journey, never lost, feeling founded. Steep is the pinnacle, but minuscule loudest. Moving for the enemies, go to climbing. I'ma be a winner.
He actually got a better launch than me, and that is amazing.
Because when the Classic bogged, I pulled the clutch and slipped it a little bit and kept the revs up. It was the traction control system. I didn't do anything.
And my Ather 450X, by the time I got it, was a little warmed up. And that's not a good thing when you're talking about electrics, because it wasn't doing what I wanted it to do. So that's my reason for losing.
Yeah, so what happened on that drag race was that because I got a great launch on the Classic 350, the Ather actually didn't get ahead of the Classic, I think, at any point in the race. There wasn't a lot in it, to be honest with you. The results were pretty close. But the same thing happened where the Ather maxed out at 90 and the Classic kept on building speed. And I think that's where the EVs are still missing out on. There's a lot of battery management going on. They're not thinking about people wanting to launch their machines, and yeah, not a lot of them do. So as soon as you touch the brake, the power is cut. So getting off the line on a scooter, even with a lot of torque, is difficult. And then there is a max cap. So the scooter just can't build speed beyond that. So I would say, Ather, you need a super warp mode where you remove all restrictions and say, okay, I'm going to ride the scooter for 400 meters and I want max performance. Let's call it ridiculous mode. Nobody has ever used that name.
Not yet. Oh, wow.
I think then the Ather would definitely win this test.
And it's amazing considering that this is one of the most iconic motorcycles that we have today.
And one of the most iconic electric scooters that we have.
Of the future. Yeah. And it is already running it so close in so many ways.
It's true. When the Ather 550X comes out,
Ather, are you listening?
when the Ather 650X comes out, then we'll compare it to the Interceptor 650 and see what happens.
Yes, until then.
Until then, thank you so much for watching our drag race between the Ather 450X and the Classic 350. It might have won this time, but we don't know what will happen the next time when it's dry. But the important thing is this is just one of so many drag races coming at you. Many of them are odd comparisons, many of them are super popular comparisons, and in each cases we found very, very interesting results. For example, that he needs to cut his hair. But we're going to sign out now, and what I'm going to ask you to do is leave us a comment telling us what vehicles you'd like to see compared on Signal to Signal Season 3, and I promise you, we'll get to those. Do you have anything clever to say as we sign off?
I cut his hair. Saved him some weight.
Nice, right?
AK-47! There is a slight chance that I might win through my sheer presence in that cabin. It's not really possible.